A quiet deal, sealed behind closed doors. Two nations, one a global titan, China, and the other, a strategic economic powerhouse, Singapore. A handshake that has set off alarms across the Indo-Pacific, Washington, Brussels, and even Moscow. This isn't just diplomacy, this is a seismic shift. What did Singapore offer that made Beijing say yes? Why now? And what are the ripples about to crash into the fragile balance of power in Asia? Because when China accepts, the world reacts. Before we dive deep into this unfolding geopolitical earthquake, take a moment. Like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you the most critical and overlooked global developments with unmatched depth and urgency. Now, let's break it down. The moment that changed everything. The moment that may well reshape the global digital and economic landscape wasn't marked by ceremonial handshakes or elaborate press conferences. China's acceptance of Singapore's unprecedented offer came through a low-profile joint statement, quietly uploaded to official diplomatic portals without public fanfare. But behind that calculated silence, away from immediate public scrutiny, lay a deal laced with profound and potentially disruptive long-term implications for global technology, trade, and the balance of power in the digital sphere. Its quiet announcement belied its strategic weight. The core of Singapore's offer to Beijing was centered on a specific and highly valuable form of access. This wasn't merely about trade tariffs or physical ports in the traditional sense. Although Singapore's world-class port logistics were certainly included as part of the package. Critically, the offer provided strategic access to Singapore's highly advanced digital infrastructure, its robust networks, cutting-edge connectivity, and technological backbone. It also included facilitated access to its sophisticated port logistics systems, which are increasingly reliant on digital integration and data. Perhaps most significantly, the pact granted access to Singapore's internationally respected data governance ecosystem. This implies a level of data sharing, standards alignment, and potentially regulatory access previously unthinkable with a major power like China, especially given global concerns around data privacy and security. This offer came at a particularly pivotal time for China, which has found itself increasingly isolated and constrained in the global digital tech sphere. Beijing was battling a tightening net of restrictions and deliberate decoupling efforts imposed by Western nations and their allies. Chinese tech companies faced outright bans and severe limitations in key Western markets over national security and data privacy concerns. Restrictions on data flow across borders and explicit calls for digital decoupling from Western-led tech alliances, like those involving the US, Europe, and Five Eyes partners, were intensifying significantly. This created a significant vulnerability for China's digital ambitions and its aspiration for seamless integration into the global digital economy. It needed a way to bypass or mitigate this growing isolation. Singapore, with its long-standing reputation as a trusted neutral broker in international affairs, and its position as a global financial and technological hub, offered Beijing a unique and desperately needed solution. It presented a potential bridge across the growing digital divide erected by Western powers. This wasn't an offer of outright allegiance or political alignment with China against the West. Instead, it was framed as a pragmatic opportunity for mutual technical and economic benefit within defined regulatory parameters, leveraging Singapore's neutral status. For Beijing, securing access to Singapore's advanced ecosystem was a critical strategic gain, offering a potential lifeline in a tightening net of Western containment efforts aimed at limiting China's technological reach and influence globally. It offered a pathway to maintain crucial connectivity and access vital digital flows. For Singapore, however, the pact represented a complex calculation involving significant leverage and potential influence, but also considerable risk. Singapore gains leverage by controlling access to a crucial digital and logistical node desired by a superpower like China. It potentially gains influence in shaping future digital norms and standards by facilitating this east-west connection. Yet, it simultaneously takes on significant risk, potentially exposing itself to heightened scrutiny, political pressure, and security concerns from both China and Western powers wary of the arrangement and its implications. The silent tech war and the data corridor. At the absolute core of the agreement between China and Singapore, beneath the headlines about physical ports and digital infrastructure rollouts, lies a fundamental commodity of the 21st century: data. In this era, data is far more than just inert information or digital traffic. It is a potent form of power, a valuable currency driving economies, enabling AI development, and shaping national security. In the escalating shadow war being waged between China and the West, control over data flows and access to data streams are rapidly becoming critical battlegrounds. Singapore has meticulously cultivated a reputation as an ideal global hub for data management and digital services, making it a highly attractive partner in this domain. It boasts high-trust data regimes, built on strong regulatory frameworks, and a commitment to transparency in data handling. The nation invests heavily in world-class cybersecurity infrastructure and expertise, creating a secure and reliable environment for data storage and transit. Furthermore, its stated commitment to privacy protection standards has earned it international credibility, even as it navigates complex geopolitical relationships. For Beijing's massive tech giants, companies like Huawei, ByteDance, and others operating globally, the timing of this agreement is crucial and potentially transformative. Many have been significantly crippled or hampered by extensive Western bans, restrictions, and supply chain limitations imposed over security concerns. Faced with the increasing risk of being shut out of key markets and global digital flows, these companies see Singapore as a potential escape hatch from the tightening net. It offers a pathway to circumvent some of these restrictions and maintain a vital presence in the international digital ecosystem. Anchoring their international operations or routing significant data flows through Singapore, a respected neutral player, could also potentially lend them a veneer of international digital legitimacy. This could make it harder for Western nations to justify imposing blanket restrictions based purely on their origin. The strategic implications of China anchoring itself to Singapore's sophisticated data networks are indeed enormous, raising significant concerns in Western capitals dedicated to containing China's technological rise. One major concern is the potential for Chinese entities to bypass certain tech-related sanctions imposed by the US and allies. By routing operations or accessing services through Singapore's interconnected ecosystem, Chinese entities might gain indirect access to critical components, specialized software, or advanced cloud computing services that are otherwise restricted due to direct bans or export controls aimed at them. Another significant implication is the potential to mask sensitive digital transactions and data transfers. Routing these through Singapore's regulated and complex networks could make them harder for Western intelligence agencies to track or scrutinize compared to direct China-to-West connections, complicating oversight. Furthermore, access to vast, diverse, and clean datasets is critically important for training advanced artificial intelligence models, a key area of great power competition. The agreement could potentially allow China to access valuable AI training data through proxies or data sharing arrangements facilitated by Singapore's hub status. Gaining access to such data, potentially compliant with Singapore's governance standards, could provide a significant boost to China's AI development efforts, giving them an advantage in this strategic domain. As these potential implications become clearer to policymakers and security analysts, the global West is watching the unfolding partnership with palpable nervousness. The agreement directly challenges Western efforts to contain China's technological rise and limit its digital influence globally. The prospect of China gaining sophisticated data access and potentially bypassing sanctions through a trusted neutral hub raises concerns about the effectiveness of existing containment strategies and the potential for unforeseen security vulnerabilities to emerge within the global digital ecosystem. The Strait of Strategy, naval implications. But this unprecedented deal between China and Singapore isn't just about digital networks or data streams, however revolutionary those aspects may be. It is also deeply physical, rooted in geography and naval strategy. Singapore's geographic location imbues it with immense physical power over global maritime traffic. The city-state hosts one of the busiest and most critical ports on Earth, managing a colossal volume of shipping daily. Its physical control and operational expertise directly govern the passage through the Strait of Malacca, a narrow and indispensable maritime choke point. This strait is one of the handful of most important waterways for global trade and energy transit. A staggering 30% of total global trade, a colossal volume of goods and energy supplies vital to economies worldwide, flows directly through this narrow waterway annually. Any influence over this strait holds immense leverage over the world economy and international logistics. For China, this control point is not just about facilitating trade. It is a persistent source of strategic anxiety and maritime vulnerability. China's heavy dependence on imported energy, particularly oil and gas from the Middle East and Africa, makes securing its sea lanes through the Malacca Strait paramount for national security. Recent years have seen intensifying Western naval drills and freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea and surrounding areas. These are perceived by Beijing as attempts to challenge its claims and potentially disrupt its maritime access in a future crisis scenario, increasing its sense of vulnerability at choke points like Malacca. In this context, the Malacca Corridor becomes a primary pressure point in any potential regional or global confrontation. Control or even significant influence here can exert immense economic and strategic leverage over adversaries and global commerce alike. A well-placed friend and partner like Singapore, controlling such a critical juncture and willing to offer access, provides China with a powerful geopolitical shield regarding its most vulnerable sea lane. It offers a degree of security and predictability regarding passage through the strait that China previously lacked, reducing reliance on potentially hostile ports or waterways. This is not a formal military alliance in the traditional sense, nor outright control of the physical strait itself. Instead, it is gaining crucial access and influence over the logistical, digital, and operational aspects surrounding the choke point through a key partner. China has long pursued its string of pearls maritime strategy, building or gaining influence over ports and forging relationships across the Indian Ocean and Southeast Asia, from Gwadar in Pakistan to Hambantota in Sri Lanka. These are vital nodes for extending reach. Singapore, however, is fundamentally different from these pearls. While they are important nodes for power projection and logistical support, Singapore controls the critical point of entry and exit between two of the world's major oceans, the Indian and the Pacific. With its unmatched port capabilities, status as a global financial hub, and control over the Malacca Strait, Singapore is not just another stop on the string of ports. It is, in strategic terms, the crown jewel, granting crucial operational access and influence over the entire maritime network that passes through Southeast Asia's most vital artery. Reactions from the global stage. The profound strategic implications of the China-Singapore Pact have not gone unnoticed in Washington, D.C., particularly within the U.S. defense and intelligence establishment. Senior Pentagon analysts and policymakers are reportedly raising significant eyebrows at the scope of the agreement. The primary worry centers on the perception that Singapore, a nation long seen and relied upon by the U.S. as a stable, neutral, and highly trusted partner in a critical region, might be sliding more decisively into Beijing's economic and strategic gravitational field. Beyond the official government channels, think tanks and policy analysts in Washington and elsewhere are buzzing with speculative analyses. They are attempting to fully grasp the long-term consequences of granting China such extensive access to Singapore's critical digital and logistical infrastructure. The question being debated is whether this pact, following other shifts in the region like Cambodia and potentially Malaysia, signals the start of a broader, perhaps subtle or soft pivot in the strategic orientation of Southeast Asia itself, moving away from traditional Western influence towards closer ties with China. Across the Atlantic, European intelligence communities are reportedly equally alarmed by the developments in Singapore. Europe has cultivated deep ties with the city-state, viewing it as a key partner and gateway to the Asian market. The European Union, in particular, has built a close digital and economic relationship with Singapore, viewing it as a reliable partner for data flows, tech standards, and market access in Asia. With China now partially inside that critical digital and logistical equation, through its access to Singapore's infrastructure and data ecosystem, Brussels must urgently reconsider its tech alliances, data-sharing protocols with the region, and regulatory frameworks to protect sensitive European data and technology. Within ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, the reactions to Singapore's pact with China are decidedly mixed and highlight the internal divisions within the bloc. The agreement underscores the complex and varying relationships member states have with the regional superpower. Nations like Malaysia and Indonesia, two of ASEAN's most significant maritime states with their own complex relationships and historical wariness regarding China's growing military and economic reach in the South China Sea, reportedly view this deal with considerable discomfort and suspicion regarding its implications for regional balance. Vietnam, which has its own complex history and ongoing territorial disputes with China in the South China Sea, views the pact as a calculated risk by Singapore. While benefiting from regional stability, it remains acutely aware of Beijing's strategic ambitions and potential for leverage. The Philippines, currently embroiled in direct confrontations with China in the South China Sea over disputed features, has remained publicly quiet on the Singapore deal. However, privately, officials are reportedly anxious about anything that enhances China's regional leverage and influence in critical waterways adjacent to their territory. Economic chess: who gains what? Singapore's economy thrives on neutrality, trust, and high-end services. Aligning too closely with any major power comes at a cost. But what if the gain outweighs the risk? Early indicators suggest increased inward investment from Chinese state-linked companies. Financial tech hubs in Shenzhen are reportedly looking to anchor themselves in Singaporean regulatory safe zones. Strategic resource flows, semiconductors, rare earth elements could also reroute. In exchange, Singapore may receive guarantees: economic, technological, even military. While no bases will be built, cooperation is expected to deepen through intelligence exchanges, AI labs, and green tech corridors. But risks loom. U.S. sanctions are surgical and often swift. Singapore could find itself balancing on a knife's edge. A look into the past, when giants whispered before. This isn't the first covert handshake. In the 1970s, when the U.S. and China quietly opened back-channel diplomacy, global power shifted. A single nod changed the fate of millions. Similarly, Singapore has been here before, during the Cold War, acting as a vital node for Western surveillance in Asia while maintaining ties with China. History shows small states can wield great power if they move wisely. What happens next? The world on edge expect a tightening of digital export controls. Expect Western firms to reassess their data partnerships. And expect intelligence communities to watch Singapore like never before. There is also a chance that this deal triggers a new regional tech alliance. Japan, South Korea, Australia, and India could draw closer to counterbalance China's new foothold. Within Singapore, debates are intensifying. Domestic tech leaders see opportunity. Security agencies warn of infiltration. The public? Divided. China, meanwhile, will tread carefully. This is a strategic beachhead, not an occupation. It will protect this gain at all costs, but will also avoid overexposure. The world has changed, quietly. In a world where power is wielded in megabytes, straits, and silence, this move marks a turning point. China has accepted Singapore's offer. The consequences are already unfolding. Some seen, most still hidden. The Indo-Pacific is watching. The world is reacting, and history is, once again, being written in the margins. So what happens next? We'll be here to uncover it. Thank you for watching. If you value deep dives into the world's most pressing geopolitical shifts, if you believe in truth, context, and clarity, then like this video, share it, comment your take on China's rise in Singapore, and subscribe for more world-shaping insights that go beyond the surface.